2, 3.
On this week's edition of the Robo Report, record-setting news for the men's and women's golf team as both have earned more hardware for the trophy case. We've got fun insight on how our first major league team is inspiring youth in our Vegas community. Next, we will shout out the football team as it celebrates a major milestone with a new look. And then dive into some new sports in town. ESports is taking over the gaming community, so watch out. All of these juicy announcements and more coming right now. Welcome back to another intriguing episode of the Robo Report. We have gathered together some great highlights for you today, and better yet, we're excited to announce the success of our very own UNLV athletic teams. I'm Chelsea Garcia.
And I'm Alex Wong. We first have to give a round of applause to our very own men's and women's golf team for hitting the ball in the hole and taking victory in the Mountain West Conference Championships. We also want to thank our very own Golden Knights for giving back to the community.
Downstream, we'll dive in and sit down with Amy Bush-Herzer, the women's golf head coach for this week's Robo Report Timeout. But first, we continue with our top stories. That's golf. The Mountain West hosted its women's golf championship from April 17th through the 19th in California.
Our very own Luis Negrete is in studio to tell us more about UNLV's pursuit of another Mountain West title. Luis?
The 38 nationally ranked UNLV women's golf team traveled to Southern California to defend their Mountain West Conference title going back-to-back, battling it out for the 6th conference title in program history.
For the second consecutive time, the UNLV women's golf team captured the second Mountain West title in 2 years. 3 Rebels finished the tournament with 3 of the top 7 finishers. Mackenzie Rain closed the tournament with a birdie on 17th that put the Aztecs away. San Diego State finished second behind UNLV, followed by San Jose State. This Mountain West title has earned UNLV an automatic bid to their 15th consecutive regional appearance.
One thing that we did the last couple weeks is just talk about how this is something that we really wanted and every shot's going to count. And sure enough, we saw that coming down the stretch.
My heart was pounding outside my chest. I was so nervous, but my coach was like, just keep your head down, I'll watch it go in. And I did, and heard the cheer, and it's bittersweet.
For me, especially being a senior, and I'm sure for Harley as well, we're definitely very excited. We feel like all our hard work has paid off. And honestly, it was a lot more, more tension from yesterday because we were only 1 shot ahead. Yeah. Instead of last year, we were a bunch of shots ahead. So today we had that mindset of we're going to go and get what's ours.
The team will travel to regionals during the month of May to compete from May 8th through the 10th.
We also had a championship tournament recently.
That's not even the right one. The team, which is always among the best in the country and ranked 14th in the country, become the 2017 Mountain West Men's Golf Championship Conference champions for the 2nd time in a row as well. Here's Arlinda Gregory to break it down.
23rd, UNLV's men's golf team closed out the Mountain West 3-day men's golf championship with a win. The championship began on Friday, April 21st and ended on Sunday, April 23rd. At the tournament, there were a total of 11 teams and 55 individuals competing. The UNLV Rebels had a bit of a rocky start in the beginning of the tournament. However, when they began day 3 of the tournament, they tied up for 2nd place.
We weren't playing well early, and they still hung in there, and they made it, play off at the end. Really solid golf, so very, very proud of them.
As the final day concluded, the Rebels had a final round of 7 under, which was the 2nd best on Sunday. UNLV was led by junior John Oda and sophomore Harry Hall, who finished like a Rebel.
That's, our program's built on that, and I just couldn't be more happier and proud of these guys.
And we came out this morning with momentum and motivation, and that showed up on the back nine.
This win for UNLV's golf team was its 9th top 5 finish in 12 events this season. From the Rebel Report, I'm Arlinda Gregory.
It's the 4th Mountain West team title for the UNLV men's golf program and also marks back-to-back conference championships for the Rebels. UNLV also becomes the first school in the Mountain West history to both have men's and women's win conference titles in back-to-back years. And happy birthday to UNLV Football. This upcoming 2017-2018 season marks 50 years of the Rebel football for our university. And to celebrate, the team has a new logo. Haley Brooks gives us a look into the new design and its creator.
UNLV football began in 1967 with their first game held at Cashman Field against St. Mary Gales. That first season, the Rebels remained undefeated until its very last game. The program has seen many players continue on to the NFL, such as one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time, Randall Cunningham. 50 years later, and Rebel football is still going strong with a promising future just ahead by being able to play in a multi-billion-dollar stadium alongside NFL teams. To celebrate their 50th year anniversary, the football program released a new logo to be displayed on players' uniforms and in other marketing campaigns. Mike Mason, the creative director for Catalyst Creative, designed the new logo for our football team.
I came up with a design really collaborating with the UNLV athletic department. Primarily Mark Wellington really told me of kind of the elements he wanted to incorporate into the design, such as some of like the significant landmarks, having a big spotlight on the on 50 on the digits, and incorporating just small Vegas touches like the Stardust icon and stuff. So using that guidance, I did some research on some logos for inspiration and wanted something that's simple and clean like my style, but something that's also indicative of Vegas.
Some of those key Vegas elements that Mike mentioned in the logo include the Vegas sign, the High Roller, Stratosphere, and even the new T-Mobile Arena. UNLV football will have their first game with the new logo displayed at home on September 2nd against Howard. For the Rebel Report, I'm Haley Brooks.
Catalyst Creative also has recently signed a big client who they will be holding an NFL draft party for in the Vegas sign Saturday on April 29th. Of course, we're talking about the soon-to-be Las Vegas Raiders.
Before the Golden Knights, local kids probably didn't have a reason to be a fan of hockey.
But the Knights are changing that and are giving the kids a chance to pick up a stick, some for the very first time. The Rebel Report's Cassie Soto gives us more.
The Golden Knights are getting closer and closer to finally putting a team together, with the announcement of head coach Gerard Gallant on April 13th and the expansion draft coming up on June 21st. But the Knights know that in order to be successful in Las Vegas, they'll have to win over the local fan base. Over spring break, the Knights hosted a street hockey tour where team members visited 6 local community centers, giving some kids their first ever hockey experience with the hopes of making them lifelong fans.
It's the first chance for these kids ever to touch a hockey stick, even get exposed to what it is. So, what we're trying to do is when we start playing next fall, that they have at least some type of connection to us, that we were at their camp, they saw us, they actually saw held a stick, they understand a little bit what's going on out there, and that's the first step.
Yeah, no, hockey's a great sport. Like I said, I don't want the misconception to be that you have to know how to skate right away. Everyone started at some point, whether that was 3 years old, 12 years old, or an older adult that wants to get out on the ice and learn for the first time. There's a chance for everyone to play.
Another misconception might be that hockey is mostly a male sport, but with events like this, kids are proving that otherwise.
Genders don't play sports, athletes do. So if you want to pick up stick, go ahead.
The Knights plan to host other public events like this to both grow the local fan base and to encourage kids that hockey is a viable sport for them to play. For the Rebel Report, I'm Cassie Soto.
The Knights have also held other events like this to give kids a feel of the game.
Like the Try Hockey for Free event where kids get to strap on skates and actually learn some basic fundamental skills on the ice. Maybe a potential Golden Knights player can come from Las Vegas right here. While things will be heating up in Las Vegas, the T-Mobile Arena is cooling down for our Golden Knights. Creating the ice is a full-time job, and T-Mobile Arena was cool enough to give the Rebel Report a tour of the facility. The puck won't drop for another few months, but we got a chance to speak with our ice expert, George Salami, about how T-Mobile Arena gets the surface ready for our Golden Knights. Building the ice for the arena is no easy task. It takes 3.5 days of constant supervision,
with 4 to 6 crew members building layers and layers to complete the chilly surface. And we got the 101 from Ice Master George Salami.
Your typical hockey floor, this is it right here. You're standing on the concrete right now. I don't know if you can see this dasher outline, but a hockey floor is 85 feet wide by 200 feet long, okay? All the piping is in the concrete. So that we have a refrigeration system in the back that just cools the concrete, right? We're gonna get too far into depth into refrigeration, but in a nutshell, what we do is we cool the slab till we get it to about 15 degrees. Once we get to about 15 degrees, we come out with this spray wand, a boom. It's about 8 feet wide. It has about 12 nozzles on it. You start walking back and forth, spraying the concrete with water. It's a very light mist because you want it to flash freeze. The quicker it freezes, the quicker you can go over it again, right? So you do about 4 layers of what's called black ice, 4 layers of clear water. Then we actually paint that with white paint, 4 layers of white, right? So that's walking back and forth. It's a timely process. It's nonstop 24/7. So after you do the white, then you go back and seal that white. It's almost like getting a car painted. You have a base coat, a white coat, and a clear coat. After the clear coats are done, then you go ahead and you do all your line work. All your circles, your logos, your emblems, the red lines, the blue lines. And once that's done, again, you walk with this wand, layer by layer, covering up all these lines. It's rebuilding a phone book is how it is exactly it's done, layer by layer.
So how does the 85 by 200 foot slab of ice stay cool? We start off in the chiller room to cool things off.
So this is where all of the magic happens. This is how the floor gets cold. This is not your typical hockey rink system. It's an NHL system, which is redundant. There's 2 of everything in case something fails. So there's always backup. There's compressors, there's pumps. That's what cools the brine, which is in the concrete slab. Long story short, this is how we get the concrete to 15 degrees or get the ice to 22 degrees. Everything happens right here.
Even the water at the arena gets special treatment and goes through a very complex system, far better than any tap water.
This is where we mix our water and our what's called our recipe of what we want for clarity and density and all that stuff that we put on the ice. It's just not tap water. You lay layer by layer. There's a system right here where it goes through a softener, comes in at a certain temperature. We mix our TDSs and everything like that in that jet ice system, and this is what we end up with the end product.
The Zamboni is well known, but what most people don't know is how complex these machines really are.
These are the Zambonis. They're brand new machines, the latest and greatest, and we'll be putting them to the test as usual, and that's what manicures and makes your ice. People just think that you're out there just, everybody just sees that there's just water coming out of the back of the conditioner, which is not the case. These things, they're very complicated. So we're actually shaving the ice. There's a lot going on inside this apparatus, which is called the conditioner. You're shaving the ice. There's snow that's in there, which is mixed with slush and water. There's a squeegee that forces it into the grooves of the ice, and then the hot water just melts it all back together. There's a lot going on.
Although the ice is a big deal, for now George and his crew aren't so much concerned with the surface here, but with their next big event, the NHL Awards, coming up in June, which he's super fired up about. For the Rebel Report, I'm Alex Wong. Although the ice isn't quite ready, you will have to wait for summer for things to cool down right here at the T-Mobile Arena.
Not many people consider esports an actual sport, but the industry is growing, and with that growth comes more gambling. Here I show you how it's impacting the industry. With the expansion of esports, Nevada and Las Vegas specifically want to capitalize on its growth. Esports isn't your traditional sport. For one thing, most of the action happens online. That's not going to stop Las Vegas from trying to bring esports tournaments to town.
Esports is very, very broad. There are a number of different means of offering tournaments and competition. I mean, the core of esports is just like sport. It's spectatorship of competition. It wouldn't exist without the athletes, but it also wouldn't exist without the fans.
The number of esports fans has grown over the last couple of years. Access through streaming makes esports even more available. Games like League of Legends can be streamed for millions to see. Las Vegas is no stranger to that, as the Mandalay Bay hosted the 2016 League of Legends Spring Finals, where thousands of fans flocked to the Mandalay Bay Event Center. League of Legends is one of the biggest esports competitions for people to bet on. With millions of fans across the globe, hotel and casino owners want to take advantage of Las Vegas's ability to bet on esports like League of Legends. According to Terry Johnson of the Nevada Gaming Control Board, they want to give millennials a safe place for them to bet on esports.
Well, that's what Nevada is built on, Las Vegas is built on, reputable gaming activities. So we want to continue to be a partner with the esports industry to ensure the integrity of this industry as it grows.
As the industry grows, several esports companies formed the Nevada Esports Alliance with a goal to make Nevada a global esports hub.
Advantage of Nevada's vast gambling regulation infrastructure and vast tourism infrastructure to make it a major hub for these large esporting events.
The Downtown Grand posted Nevada's very first esports bet in the late 2016 for the DreamHack Counter-Strike Offensive Tournament, and a second esports arena will be built from the recently closed down nightclub LAX. As more events come to Las Vegas, casino owners are banking on millennials to bet. Okay, let's go back to golf and continue to celebrate our conference titles. Here's Haley Brooks with our Rebel Report Timeout.
Rebel Report Timeout.
Thanks, guys. The women's golf team just won their second consecutive Mountain West Championship, and with us today is the head coach, Amy Bush-Herzer. Amy, thank you for being with us today.
Thanks for having me.
Sure. So, first of all, congratulations.
Thank you.
Second time in a row. I mean, were you expecting this at the beginning of the season?
You know, you never know what to expect with a brand new team, or you know, we had some returners, but you never know what the year can bring, and it's a very long year for us because we compete both in the fall and in the springtime. So we didn't know, and we went into the Mountain West Conference as the third ranked team. That's where we were ranked to finish. But to come out on top, boy, that's fun.
An awesome feeling.
Great feeling.
And when you guys, so in second was San Diego, and at first you guys were pulling ahead, and then they were catching up a little bit, and then you finally pulled ahead at the end. Were you nervous there for a little bit?
I didn't eat all day.
So no.
So no. Actually, I remember Harley Dubsky, who had a really good finish in the conference. Her and I were walking down 18 together, and she said, "Have you eaten anything today?" And I said, "Nope." And she goes, "Me neither, Coach. I can't handle this." And I said, "Well, we'll get through it together." And boy, did we.
That's awesome. I mean, seriously, congratulations
Thank
to you
you.
guys. So it was you and the men's team, both for the second year in a row. Is there a little bit of a rivalry between the two of you guys?
Not at all. It really makes us better, and it makes us stronger together. I mean, we both have been excited with our, you know, we both send text messages and we cheer each other on all season long and help each team out. And you know what? It's great for recruiting with both programs do that. It's great for the university. It's just everything overall, we definitely support each other.
Right. So supporting each other, I want to talk a little bit about that because golf is such like an individual sport, but like you're also a team. So how do you incorporate like the team like camaraderie into the sport?
No, that's a great question. And so it's sometimes a challenge, but in this case, we really try and create a good family environment. I have the student athletes over to my house when the NCAA lets us do that, and we have little celebrations and birthday parties and all that stuff throughout the year because it is those little things behind the scenes that make a big difference when you're coming down the stretch, and you've got to help each other win the Mountain West Conference Championship, advance to the national championship, whatever it may be. So, we talk a lot about that, talk a lot about, turning around and cheering for your teammate because you get to watch them if they're ahead of you or behind you. And so we do a lot of that, and we do a lot of the team building throughout the year to make sure that, yeah, it is an individual sport, but we're also, representing UNLV.
Right, family.
Exactly.
So you mentioned NCAA, so you guys are moving on to the regionals, and you said they announced where that'll be?
Yep, so we're going to Lubbock, Texas, and we compete May 8th, 9th, and 10th. And I'm really excited about it because we're paired with Texas Christian University and Oregon in the first round, and great coaches, great teams, and we're really looking forward to get it going.
Yeah, and this is UNLV's 15th consecutive year going?
If you can believe that. I mean, this just keeps making me feel older and older as we talk about this stuff. But yeah, 15th, it's seventh straight for me as head coach, and what a great feeling. And again, selection in Lubbock. It's supposed to be windy out there, and we know a little thing about wind here in Las Vegas.
We get the desert winds out here, even today.
You're right.
So you have a really strong team. You have a lot of great players last year. Alex won the Mountain West individual.
And then also in the Mountain West Championships this year, I saw Elizabeth Pryor. She had a really good game. She's from England.
Right.
Can you tell me a little bit about her?
Well, she's just fun. She's just, you know, it's actually interesting. Her accent has kind of spread throughout my girls, even the ones that
we
are
have
from
an English golf team now.
Yeah. So I hear them and I'm like, where did you come up with that word? You've never even, how do you pronounce that? And so, but she's great. She made a hole-in-one at the Mountain West Conference, and she'll probably tell this story too. But after she made the hole-in-one, I walked up to her and I said, give me the ball. And she goes, what? I said, give me the ball. You're not going to go lose this golf ball. You just hit this in conference. You know, let me have it. She goes, I wasn't going to hit it, coach. And then, you know, hands it over to me. So I still have her golf ball, and we're talking about what we're going to do with that.
Frame it. Hang it up.
Exactly. Put a little picture of it. But they couldn't find it at first, which makes the story even better. And they had to go look in the golf hole.
Isn't it just, I was going to say, isn't it just in the hole? Like,
Yeah,
isn't that where it goes?
They couldn't see. And they said they went up and took a look at it, and there it was.
So your girls are really successful, but you as an individual are also really successful. Your bio has a million things on it. You are the president of the Southern Nevada section of the PGA, which you're the first woman to do that, which is awesome. You've been coach of the year numerous times. You keep doing awesome things. Do you think that reflects on your girls?
Do I sleep?
I don't know. I don't think you do.
No, I do sometimes, not during season though. No, I think it does. It's all about hard work, and if the student athletes see that and see the hard work that I'm constantly putting into making sure that their practices are better, to make sure that they're getting better every single day, their workouts are the best that they can be, that does reflect on us and their work ethic.
Well, that's good. You're a positive role model for them.
I have the best job in the world.
So also the UNLV, like the Olympic sports, the golfing and tennis, they've been doing really well. Do you think that, like, what is that influence on you guys?
Well, I think it's just good in general. You know, when you can put great stuff out about UNLV athletics, recruits see that. They see it whether it's our women's basketball team doing great things, men's and women's soccer doing great things, men's and women's tennis. Everybody sees that and they can get excited about it. You know, especially when, you know, track and field does well and I can send them a little message and support. You know, people see that and that helps in our recruiting all in general throughout the board. So.
Yeah. Thank you very much for coming with us today. Congratulations and good luck in Texas.
Thank you.
You're very welcome. We're going to send it back over to you guys at the desk.
Thanks, Haley. On our last show, we showed you some beautiful Arabian horses. So now, how about we show you some beautiful American quarter horses?
From April 19th to the 23rd, the American Quarter Horse Association Level 1 Championship took place at the South Point, and our own Lupita Negrete was able to get a closer look.
Exhibitors are saddling up for the American Quarter Horse Association's Level 1 Championships here at the South Point Equestrian Complex. Let's see what they got. Horse riders were able to show off their skills and their horses at the West American Quarter Horse Association Level 1 Championship. This championship is one out of 3 Level 1 championships that the association hosts in the U.S. The other 2 Level 1 championships are the East and Central Championships, which take place in North Carolina and Oklahoma.
There's different levels. This is level 1, which is kind of a novice division. Allows people to get started showing it at a major event.
The exhibitors that participate in these championships qualified for events either nationally or through their local AQHA affiliate and are able to compete in halter, English, and Western disciplines.
American Quarter Horse Association is the largest breed association in the world. It's obviously just for quarter horses, and this is one of our shows that the association puts on. A breed association's main function is to register all of the animals within a breed and also to transfer those animals and to have a membership organization.
There were a total of 355 horses entered for this championship, all of which were, of course, American Quarter horses.
Well, I think the first thing is the American Quarter Horse is known for 2 things, and that's the versatility and their disposition. And so you'll see these horses being shown in multiple disciplines, multiple events, from hunt seat classes to reining to roping to cattle classes to conformation classes.
This championship is wrapping up, but there will be another one like it in North Carolina from May 2nd to the 7th. For the Rebel Report, I'm Lupita Negrete.
There was a total of 1,543 entries for this championship and a total of 343 exhibitors that participated. Before we end our show, let's swing back to the women's golf team as they give Rebel Report's Pamela Ross a couple pointers on techniques they use in the game. Here is Show Me Your Skills.
Show me your skills.
Ready, go. Oh, whoa.
It's National Golf Day, and I'm outside the Las Vegas Country Club to learn a thing or two about golf. Even though golf is a quiet sport, there are many techniques that go into it. In order for a beginner to succeed, there are 3 main fundamentals to know. A sophomore on UNLV's women's golf team, Texie Pichel, takes us through her way of developing a great swing.
So the method that we're going to teach you is the hot dog and the bun method. So your left thumb is going to be the hot dog, and you're going to take your right hand and it's going to be the bun, just like that. So that, and then we're going to do it with the club. So grip it with your left hand and then bring your right hand over to create the hot dog. And that's how you grip a golf club.
Do a nice athletic stance, a little wider than your shoulders. And then we're gonna get to the Y and L formation. And then again, finish follow through. And you wanna hold your position for 5 seconds. So we'll see it in full motion.
Although it's probably harder than it looks, it was my turn to try to get a good swing on the course.
Where's it best for me to stand? Like swing back to your L and follow through.
Woo! Oh, one more time.
Woo!
Nice. Okay, that was awesome. I can make it over there. Well, it's safe to say I'm not as good as golf as I thought I was. For the Rebel Report, I'm Pamela Ross.
Pam definitely needs a lot of practice, or maybe she should just stick to reporting.
Unfortunately, that's a wrap for our show today. So long until next week, which will be our show finale for this semester for the Rebel Report.
And wait, before you check out, please be sure to follow us on all of our social media accounts, Rebel Report UNLV on Twitter, Facebook, Instagram, and Snapchat. We strive to keep you updated on UNLV sports, athletics, and breaking news. Up next, we have Plays of the Week.
Oh, almost.